What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Alex here from AlexAFE, and today we have another Dragon Empire deck profile. So I'm kind of on a kick with some of these like off meta or weird kind of pick Dragon Empire decks, but a lot of support for this deck has come out. Some new stuff out of the new set, some previous couple sets kind of came out with stuff. So I think that overall this deck actually has a lot going for it and has really good bones. Once we get the order, I believe it's for this deck. Once we get the order, maybe this will actually be relevant, but as of right now, it's still kind of obscure builds. But I think this is pretty much as good as it's going to get right now in English. I actually really do enjoy this deck. I feel like it has kind of a surprise factor. My opponents always kind of laugh when they see it, but then I'll like, you start playing, it's like, oh, wait a minute, you're drawing a bunch, you have all this power, wait, you're restanding all these guys, like, all right, like, I see where you're kind of going with it. So I do actually really like this deck a lot, and with that being said, I think this is one of those decks that, you know, if you're kind of budget minded, there's not really expensive staples in there, I don't think. I think this is actually a pretty affordable deck overall. Tons of, you know, the Vanguard's like 25 cents, so on and so forth, so very easy to kind of pick up, but Kotihblaze, so yeah, like I said, very fun deck. Let's hop right into it. If you guys are interested in picking up any of the cards that you see here today, do have a TCG Player affiliate link down in the description below. Absolutely no cost to you. You can help support the channel by shopping through that link. Thank you in advance for doing that. I'll never ask you guys for money, extra subscriptions, or anything like that. So that really does help me a whole lot. And then on top of it, if you guys are enjoying the content, make sure to leave a like on the video, possibly consider subscribing to the channel. So with all that good stuff out of the way, let's start with the ride line. Going in theme over here with the grade 0 Divine Blaze Eye and Ryu over here. Pretty simple. With the grade 1 Divine Blaze Ear Sinful, I think that's how to say it. And this guy's wrote upon by the grade 2, basically. You Soul Blast one. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck, choose up to 2 cards with different grades from each other, reveal them, choose a grade 3 card, put it into your hand, and then put the rest of them into Soul. So this is so that you can kind of get the Vanguard skill going a little bit easier later on with the Persona turn, but at the same time, you're not really tucking the grade 3 early to kind of like pull off its skill. So it's like a weird balance. I think it's still good just to run the regular ride line here. If you want to run, I think maybe you could run the, what do you call it, the Virgilla ride line. It'd be okay as well, but I'm just gonna go in theme here. The Flame Severing Dragon Baldress over here. When this guy is wrote upon with the grade 3, you basically draw a card, call a card down, grade 3 or less card, and if you didn't, you discard a card. But yeah, it's super easy to do. It's just an extra card draw. Feels really good overall. Helps us kind of get through some of the need to run the cyclers. So cyclers are kind of expensive, obviously, and if you don't want to run them in this kind of like budget-ish or, you know, tier whatever kind of deck, I feel like this is the ride line to kind of help you out with that. But this is Kotihblaze himself, so he is actually pretty cool. Let's read his different skills right here. Counterblast 1, top 5 cards of your deck, choose up to 2 grade 3 or less cards, different card name from this unit, from among them reveal it, choose up to 1 card from among the revealed cards, call it to rearguard circle, put the rest of the revealed cards into Soul, and that's important for the second part. So a little bit of filtering here, which is really nice. But at the end of the battle, this guy attacked, perform one of the following: Soul Blast 2, and then for each of the Soul Blasted units, you can basically stand the same unit on your board. So a lot of flexibility here. So let's say we Soul Blasted 2 grade 2s or whatever it is, 2 of my front row units, I can restand my whole front row. If I want to stack 1 column for whatever reason, there's just like a big advantage. I'm seeing like, boom, you could do that as well. So a lot of different choices. On top of that too, there's a lot of card draw advantage and opportunity basically by attacking, which we'll go over here. So its other option is to Soul Blast 2 cards with the same card name as this guy and discard a card from hand. You stand this unit and then it gets an extra 5k and -1 drive. So a little bit of that Overlord kind of Dragon Empire classic right there. So if you like the ability to restand your Vanguard, you have that option here, but you also have just a multi-attack, and it's very easy to get 5 attacks off with this, obviously. So yeah, that is the ride line itself. Let's hop into the main deck now. No surprises here. We are obviously running, let's just hop, yeah, let's do that way. I need to get some more silver rares of this every year, but flexing the big guys up at front, $2 worth of them. But yeah, basically just Persona rides, you need to do it. It feels much better. Obviously restanding 28k columns for the Vanguard on a Persona ride turn feels really good. If you want to also get your regards restood too, you can do that as well. But yeah, this is going to be, let's do it this way. Yeah, let me do it that way. I'm sorry, I'm just organizing my cards. Need to do that. There we are. And then our next card really quickly over here is going to be Ember Breath Dragon. So Ember Breath is pretty cool. It's very like decent for the in-theme support in terms of something still pretty cheap. During your turn, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Kotihblaze and its card name, this guy gets 5k. Act on rearguard circle. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Kotihblaze and its card name, CB1, look at the top 3 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 card. With this, choose up to 1 card from among them, reveal it, call it to rearguard if it's grade 2 or less, and then put it to hand if not. So basically if it's a grade 3, you put it into hand. Shuffle the deck at the end of the turn, put this unit into Soul. So this is really good for a little bit later into the game if you want to, you know, stack your Soul. You need it for the Kotihblaze restand. Boom, it does that. The card draw, the filtering that this does also also is pretty important. 5k, you know, decent as well. So just does a little bit of everything. It's not absolutely cracked or anything, but I feel like it's just decent support overall. I kind of want to save this to the end, but I'm just going to put it here because I always do in great order. This is a card that when all else when the juice is running out in this deck, which it does sometimes, like we don't have the order, you know, there's just certain things about this deck that sometimes like you're going to feel like you need a turn to kind of farm or go like sideways a little bit and do something. This is that card. This is a once in a blue moon kind of thing, but I swear this has saved me before. 1 copy of Varga. Kotihblaze doesn't have a divine skill. If you want to have like a break ride turn and like you're not super concerned, you don't have the persona, whatever it is, one of these always felt right in this deck. I jammed this deck with generics, like made it really expensive. I did try all these different builds, and like honestly at the end of the day I always wanted this card in my deck. It felt good. It's weird, it'll delay your plan a little bit, it'll also help you survive, and sometimes just that restanding Vanguard, just the pressure after all the thinning that this deck does feels really good. So I include one of them. This is kind of a flavor thing. You don't have to do this, but I think if you talk to like people who do play Kotihblaze, like I think a couple people actually I've seen include that in their lists, so it's not just me. Over here next up we are going to go a really good support card. I feel like this was for any other archetype, it would kind of, you know, be pretty busted, but it's gonna be Flame Kickboxer Tyrant. So when this guy attacks, if you have Vanguard, great. Let me just read this. Sorry, it's a little hard to read over here. When this unit attacks, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Kotihblaze in its card name, this guy gets an extra 5k. So obviously, at the end of the battle, this unit attacked. Choose a card with Kotihblaze in its card name from your ride deck, and then you may reveal it. Or if you have the Kotihblaze, you basically put this into Soul and draw a card. So helps you mid-battle if you want to restand stuff. Like it's a cost to put that into Soul. So if you have 2 of these, you can swing, boom, you choose to put one of them into Soul, and then boom, your other column will be eligible later for that restand to happen. Also, you can put this down on grade 2 and just start swinging, putting it into Soul. Like your board disappears, you draw, kind of filter a little bit more, set up your grade 3 turn properly so you don't even have to worry about that kind of sequencing. So overall, I feel like this is a really decent card. Helps you kind of like with the timing, just again, early kind of card draw, always putting pressure on, feels pretty nice. Something that is new, and this is kind of a weird one because it's for both the Smithy and Kotihblaze in general, but I definitely think it is worth running just for the first and a little bit of the second skill. But it's going to be Wrought Iron Knight Shaban. So kind of, I really like the art on these over here. This is coming out of, I think, the Festival Collection this came out. Yeah. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Kotihblaze or Zedlands in its card name, this guy gets boost and the following. So boost is just actually really good if you want to restand this. When this guy is placed on rear, choose your Smithy order and you may stand it. If you did not stand that card, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, choose one from among them, put it into your Soul, shuffle your deck. Again, tons of filtering in this deck, just feels really, really good. This will, you know, this reads like it's kind of BS. A lot of these cards, like, oh, you're just putting stuff into Soul, the filtering and the ability to kind of restand and get the actual restands you want off with kind of putting these stuff into Soul, it feels really, really good. So play it and you'll see what I'm talking about. But auto on rearguard circle, second skill at the end of battle that your Vanguard attack. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, you get to discard a card from hand and choose one of your Vanguards. Its drive becomes 1 till the end of turn, or all your front row units get 5k. So again, restanding on Vanguard. If you really want to, if you need to basically stack your Soul, there's things that go into Soul from hand that will help you restand even more in the column. So it might read like a pretty heavy cost, but at the same time, it could enable that next attack or kind of help you with a certain column. So you'll see what I'm saying. And then the extra 5k is what it is, you know, on your Vanguard swing, on your rearguard swings, you know, it could go a long way. So I do like this card. I think that it is a mandatory include at 4 of. Another new card over here feels really, really good. This is going to be Lizard Soldier Yenjun. So Yenjun just came out, I think, out of DZ-9. Yeah, down at the bottom, I can read that. Yeah, reading's hard. But when this guy attacks, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Kotihblaze and its card name, if you have a Vanguard with only 1 clan, choose up to 1 grade 2 or less card with a different card name from this unit from your drop, put it into Soul. Then if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, this guy gets 5k. So putting stuff that has been in the drop, whatever, just recycling it. This is so good. This is something that the deck was missing previously. So it feels really good to actually be able to do that now. And then at the end of battle, attack, CB1, draw a card, and then put this unit into Soul or bind it. So kind of cool. Actually, Narukami tech over here. So you can play this in, oh god, what is it, Vermilion and all that. But yeah, just being able to draw a card off that counterblast. You're not doing a whole lot with counterblast in this deck. You can definitely spare that. And having card draw is always good. So I think that's, like I always say, kind of the card economy equivalent of it. One of Defensing Roar, just because we can do it. I think we have the space at this point. If you want to include some other stuff, you can as well. But I think Defensing Roar is pretty good, especially when you're kind of, you know, you don't always want to be losing cards from your hand, the ability to kind of get them back and whatnot with this, it just feels really decent while still insulating you. It will be at 1. I don't know that that's live yet in English. I'm not 1000% sure, but I'm just kind of building it with that in mind. Speaking of defense, yeah, this guy over here, we don't really need the ride line guys, so you can go and do that. You can either draw a card or get that extra 15k. So yeah, feels really decent to do. And plus you will Soul Blast out your Vanguard at a certain point. Like you can defensing roar this and then do it again and create 25k shields. Feels really decent if you can get that off. A little bit few and far between, but I have done it before. Next up, again, some of the newer support for this, Drag Ritter Nald. This is really, it's weird the way it's written, so I'll explain it. But when this card is discarded from hand during a turn, put this into Soul. Again, this is good because you might have something on field. If you want to restand it, boom, this is now in Soul, so you can go do that with the Vanguard skill. When your unit in the same column as this unit stood by the ability of your grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Kotihblaze in its card name, Soul Blast 1, choose one of your rear guards in the same column as this unit and stand it. So something in the same unit, your unit in the same column as this unit stood by the ability of your grade 3 or greater. Yeah, Soul Blast 1, choose one of your rear guards in the same column. Basically, you put this into Soul, right? You can stand itself with the Kotihblaze thing, and then Soul Blast 1 to stand whatever else is kind of in the same column, or you can do it to itself too. It's worded really weird, but that's kind of how it works. So helps you get the whole column up, even if you can't really do it otherwise, like naturally, with the Kotihblaze skill. Promo card that has come out that is still pretty cheap, so I want to say this is still very budget. Incinerate Dragon. So when this guy is placed on rear, choose a grade 3 or greater with Kotihblaze in its card name from your ride deck. You may reveal it if you reveal the card, or if you grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Kotihblaze in its card name. Top 7 cards of your deck. Choose up to 1 grade 2 card from among them, a grade 2 or less card from, and then put it into Soul, shuffle the deck. So it's not grade 3. Because if you stack that grade 3, you could just do the Vanguard restand really quickly and then kind of go into other shenanigans. But so the deck kind of limits you from doing that. I get it, but at the same time, deck filtering, again, everything is filtering. And it does give you card draw at the beginning of your battle phase if you have grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Kotihblaze in its card name. Energy Blast 3, choose one of your Vanguards. That unit gets 5k until the end of turn. At the end of that turn, put this unit into Soul and draw a card. Soul charging kind of itself, again, just putting to Soul for a potential restand later on. On top of that, just giving, you know, the Soul for other costs is really good. Drawing a card is absolutely what we want to do as well. So kind of does everything we want to do. This is a really solid promo for this deck, and I need it at 4 of. I think it's like 25 cents really, so it's not expensive. For this deck, I do choose to run 4 of the PGs instead of the Elementaria, just because, you know, named units, if you start soul charging these for whatever the reason, they get brought into Soul, you have to restand it. Like, the option is there. Everything in like quad pairs pretty much in this deck, like a lot of the ratios aside from like 1 or 2 cards kind of were that 4 of. Again, because it is budget, I am going to go ahead and say that we are, you know, do whatever you want with this. You can choose to run the effect ones or not. The way I sleeved it, I didn't want to put, I guess, spare ones in. If I brought this to a tournament, I definitely would and everything, but I just have the regular fronts in here. Definitely do what you want. This is a proxy for the over trigger. I flipped up this card over here when I was playtesting. I forgot to put it in the sleeve, but I think for this deck over here, you definitely do want to run the Dragon Empire one, just because it's not once per turn. At the beginning, this unit attacked over here, so you can technically get both skills off if you have the resources on the same turn, or you can go again, like restand your rear guards and whatnot. So I think the Dragon Empire one is the correct over trigger to run. I have 8 crit here, 5k bodies, just feel decent if you have to restand them again. I forgot if it's normal units or not, but I'd never really run into it, but that is just my reasoning there. And then 4 additional heals, nothing too crazy, really. I think that with the front trigger, you have the ability now to restand your front row pretty much entirely, and that you should kind of be doing that with more frequency. Or even if you are restanding your Vanguard, your other 2 rear guards shouldn't be rested, so you're always going to benefit from the front. And then I kind of explained the Dragon Empire thing, but that is kind of the Kotihblaze list right here. Just to kind of review, extra, you know, the Kotihblaze ride line, extra persona rides, card draw, filtering right there, as well as tucking it into Soul, backup plan, Varga, actually, you know, play this deck, you'll see what I'm talking about with that. A little bit of power gain and also into Soul. The timing thing on this is actually really cool, and just a little bit more resources. Deck thinning, boosting, also helping you restand with the timing stuff. Filtering from drop, card draw as well. Defense. This guy over here, restanding when you shouldn't be able to restand, so helping you kind of with that timing thing. So yeah, card draw, filtering, just doing everything the deck wants to do. A little 5k to your Vanguard, and then obviously Vanguard, you play PG. So that is kind of the deck in summary. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm not going to really include a budget build of this because I think it is very budget as is. Like, you really shouldn't spend more than, I think, maybe $60 on this deck total, if even that, to be honest. So let me know down below if you have any questions, any edits you would make, anything that you are running in here. If you want to upgrade this, maybe can get like Shenris in here. I feel like Shenris at any point are pretty decent. You also could do like a drag resonance package if you are doing the Shenris in here, but there's, you know, you want bodies to really put into soul and tuck it. So there's a whole lot going on with the deck, a lot of weird stuff, but this is my build. I feel like this is actually a very decent deck overall. And if you guys are interested again in purchasing any of these cards, we do have that TCG player affiliate link down below. Shop to that link, help support the channel. Thank you in advance. This is Alex from Alex CFE signing out.